What's up, guys? Welcome to Run It Back Studios. It's your boy Jay Bonds, the engineer here, and in today's video I'm going to teach you guys how to properly export your session trackouts in a manner that you could send them off and they could be reopened in any DAW or software. This is useful in the event that, let's say, you record your vocals at your home studio or at someone else's studio and you want me to mix them. This is how you would export your files so they could be universally opened in any DAW software. All right, let's begin. The first thing you're gonna want to do is create your folder for your session files to be exported to. In my case, I created my folder right here. It's called Trackouts, just to keep it generic for the video. The next thing you're gonna want to do is open up your session. So whatever software you use to record your session in, just go ahead and open that up. In my case, I use Adobe Audition. They should sponsor me as much as I use them. Okay, so we have our session pulled up. All right, now there's a couple notes to begin with. If you're sending your trackouts to be mixed, you're gonna want to zero everything out. So your volumes, just zero everything out. Let the engineer handle all that. Your pans, left and right, zero everything out. Everything needs to be zero. Remove all effects that may or may not be applied. Remove them all. We just want the raw tracks. That's all we want. Let us take care of all the editing and manipulation and effects, us being the engineers. Okay, again, if we're sending for mixing, we want everything raw, we want everything zeroed out. So boom, that's the first note. You're gonna want to solo the track that you're currently exporting, which you'll start at the top from track 1 and work your way to the last track, to the bottom. You solo, you highlight from the beginning, aka 0, all the way to the end, the last second of the song. You highlight, all right? And your solo, that one track. You do this one track at a time, okay? Then you export it out. The methods of exporting your track are roughly the same, no matter what DAW software you're using. And again, in my case, I'm using Adobe Audition. So we'll do time selection. All right, and we'll call it track 1 or 1 for just to be efficient on time. Make sure your location is on the folder that you just created. Okay, let it do its thing. It's gonna export, aka bounce that track out, and then we can move on to the next track. Okay, now make sure you unsolo the previous track and solo the new current track. File, export your track. Call it 2. All right, and then you do the same thing for the next track. And again, make sure you unsolo the previous track, solo your new current track, adjust your highlights if needed, and export. And this is the third track, so we'll call this 3. Just make sure your numbers are corresponding. So you do the same thing for each track all the way down to the very last track. And then once you're done, Then you can go to your folder, open it up. You'll notice that it makes a copy of all the tracks that you exported out. That's fine, you can just leave them. The main one that you need is the actual waveform. If you hover over it, it should say wave sound. Unless you want to export out as an MP3, that's fine too. But your waveform will give you your highest quality. Okay, the last thing that you're going to want to do is create a compressed zip folder. Right click on your mouse, go to new, compressed zip folder. Go ahead and name it the same thing as the folder that you saved the Trackouts to, which in my case was simply Trackouts. Okay, and then you take your folder and drag it into the compressed zip folder. Let it do its thing. Might take a couple minutes, and boom, we're loaded up. Just go ahead and open up that zip folder, make sure your Trackouts are there. Open that, make sure your files are in there. And now you have a file that is ready to send to anyone. No matter what DAW they're using, they will be able to load up your session files and everything will have perfect timing. You could send this via Dropbox, via WeTransfer, or Google Drive. I hope you guys found this useful. I hope you guys are looking forward to collabing and working together very soon. Run It Back Studios. Peace.